Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's having a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. We're going to get right into it. Happy Tuesday. It's going to be a beautiful day today in my area. I don't know about anywhere else, but it's supposed to get up to like 70 today. So I'm super excited for the nice weather. I hope you all are able to enjoy it in whatever way that means for you. We're going to start out with our daily scripture, and then we'll get into our mantra and our affirmations for the day. This will be a full video today. All right. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not unto temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Ashe. Psalm 31, verse 24. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord. So again, talking about strength, being strong, not only spiritually, but physically as well, and emotionally. Embracing the moments that require strength, knowing that it will build you into a stronger person. The situations in life that require physical strength will also build spiritual and emotional strength. There we go. I was trying to make it make sense. I hope everybody's having a great start to your day today. It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. All right, our mantra for the day. Look at that. I am braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. So be brave today. Use not only your physical strength, but your spiritual and emotional strength. You'd be surprised. Confirmation. Courage is not the lack of fear. Courage, bravery is the ability to push through that fear and chase whatever it is that, whatever dream you're chasing, whatever goal you're chasing. I am braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town. 4:44 on the timer when I looked, and we got 4 people watching. So 44:44. That's an angel number for sure. All right, our grief affirmation for the day. Grief is like the ocean. It comes in waves, ebbing and flowing. Sometimes the water is calm, and sometimes is overwhelming. All we can do is learn to swim, right? Being brave, being strong, having courage, going with the flow. Being flexible, understanding that even if you're going through something hard right now, it is building you as a person. It's building your character. It's building your wisdom. It's building your strength. You know, it takes a lot more muscle to fight against the current than it does to go with the flow of the current. No, it's not. That doesn't mean it's easy to go with the flow, but it's easier than fighting the flow. I hope that makes sense. 5:55 on the timer when I looked. All right, we'll get a chakra wisdom affirmation for the day. Something about the weather today just helps me feel better. Spring is on the way. Even though today, this week really is just a tease of the spring weather that's on its way, we've still got, you know, a month and a half, 2 months left before spring fully gets here. But it's the light at the end of the tunnel. All right, let's get a chakra affirmation. Third chakra, solar plexus, inner harmony. I trust my innate wisdom and respond accordingly. I do not allow my mind to create doubt or to override my strong gut feelings. I accept and express my feelings while accepting the feelings of others. I'm at peace with myself and those around me. I do not harbor unrealistic expectations of myself or others. I release the need to control. My personal power is free from ego and from any desire to manipulate or exploit situations or people. The foundation of all my thoughts and actions is trust in myself. I trust my innate wisdom and respond accordingly. So listen to your gut. You know, maybe we all have those situations where there's something that we want to do, or maybe even something we feel like we need to do, but for whatever reason, maybe fear stops us from doing that. Listen to that inner voice. Even if it sounds unrealistic, even if it sounds unattainable, test the waters anyways. I mean, Grand Rising, hello. I hope you're having a great day so far today. Don't allow negative self-talk or doubt in yourself to stop you from doing something or being someone that you're intended to do or be, something that's meant for you. But at the same time, don't try to control others to get them to do what you want them to do. The only person you truly have control over is yourself. Accept others as they are, not how you want them to be. We talk about that a lot. When somebody shows you their true colors, don't try to paint them different. Don't have unrealistic expectations of yourself or other people. You never know what other people are going through behind closed doors, just like people don't know what you're going through behind closed doors. Don't lead with your ego, lead with love. All right, let's get a wild offering oracle. Being enough just showed itself right there. Being enough. Acknowledging, accepting, believing that you are enough. Truth, health, and contentment. We got true love on the bottom of the deck. We look at that, doubt on the top of the deck. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt that gut feeling. Don't doubt that intuition. All right, truth. When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to listen. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear divine. Take me over and speak through me. So listen to that inner voice. the divine, your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High. Accept the truth for what it is. Don't, don't walk around in denial. Don't walk around in defeat either. We talked about that the other day about, there's no such thing as real failure. Everything is a learning experience. Health. Allow me, divine, to be tender and accepting of my body, no matter what ailments I may have. May I always know it's doing the best it can. Help me to be a loving ally and friend to this sacred form. So going back to what we talked about earlier, taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul. Working with what you've got, like some of us don't have, we're all different. We don't all have the same abilities or the same physical strength or the same emotional strength. So accept yours, be willing to share them with others, and accept others and be willing to accept that knowledge. We can all learn from each other. And then we have contentment. You can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here resting in God. The attitude of, every time I see that, I think of the attitude of gratitude. Being grateful for what you have, being content with what you have. And that not only helps you have a better energy and just a better mindset throughout the day, but it also calls in. Why would they bless you with more if you don't appreciate what you already have, right? Okay, now we'll get some angel numbers for the day. Yesterday, we got 3737, 4442. We already saw 444 this morning on the timer as we were getting started. And then 2, that was comfort zones, signs, and relationships. We got balance, number 6 on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. So being content with what you have, seeking that inner harmony, finding your bravery, finding your courage. I'm braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. Be brave today. Smile. Embrace the moments that bring you inner harmony. Seek that inner harmony. Become stronger in yourself to where less is able to affect your inner harmony. And that's different for everybody. We all have different wounds that need healing. We all have different triggers that need taming. All right, we got 404 mind energy and 1818 meant for success. We got 3737 comfort zones on the bottom of the deck. We just put that back in there. And look at that, 2 relationships on the top of the deck. So both of those showing themselves again. Relationships and comfort zones. Build relationships that can become your comfort zone. Mind energy, 404, 4 energy again. Focus, determination, preparation, mental strength, clarity, resolve, and future readiness. Prepare your mind for future challenges. Mental strength and focus will help you overcome obstacles with determination and hard work. Wow. Weren't we just talking about that? You know, a lot of us struggle more internally than we do externally. You know, we put on a brave face for the world, but on the inside, you know, we're constantly preparing for what's next. And sometimes on the outside as well, but it starts internally first. What mental habits do I need to strengthen in order to be fully prepared for future challenges? Set aside time each day for mindfulness or mental exercises that can improve your focus and clarity. Visualize yourself successfully overcoming future obstacles. Meant for success, 1818. Success, purpose, change, prosperity, life path, transformation. A major change is coming, and while it may feel disruptive, it's guiding you toward success. What did I say at the very beginning of this video? Embrace this shift as it will lead you to your purpose and financial prosperity. Soon, the reasons for this change will become clear, revealing your true path. What changes are you facing? How can you embrace them to align with success? Prepare yourself for upcoming changes by setting clear goals and staying focused on your purpose. Excuse me. Embrace the shifts as opportunities for growth and success, and be open to discovering new paths. Stay open for new possibilities. Be that with meeting new people, new paths, new journeys. Remember that we are all meant for success. We just have to become aligned with that energy. Oh, sorry. Big bump. All right, let's pull from the Namaste deck, the Stress Less deck, and then we'll get into the bigger decks. Last time we got a lot of walking energy from the Namaste deck, the barefoot walk, spending time in nature, spending time with self, getting grounded, whatever that means for you. All right. Look at that. Still. Excuse me. Walk, walk, walk is what actually came out first. And then it was backed by self-love affirmations and reflect and grow. Pretty sure that really aligns with what we've talked about today. Practice positive affirmations about yourself throughout your day, such as, I am amazing. I am strong. I am healthy. I bake a great cake, and I made someone smile today. Write these down somewhere you can see them to remind yourself of your positive attributes and thoughts. Self-love can be a powerful emotional healing tool as they can transform, self-love affirmations. I totally just skipped over that word. They can transform a negative self-image into a positive self-image. Self-love affirmations can help you increase your sense of power, reduce stress, and experience personal fulfillment. Yes, if you talk negatively about yourself, how can you expect anybody else to talk positively? Not to say that they don't, because they do, but it's important to speak positively about yourself, because we can be our own worst critic. And sometimes, for some of us, a form of self sabotage is talking so negatively about ourselves to ourselves that we go into a downward spiral. And then we end up having to start all over again. All right. And walk, walk, walk. That's pretty much self explanatory. I don't think I really need to read that, but we will. Some days life feels heavier than others. When this happens, stop when you can and take a walk. Motion creates emotion. New emotions help get your mind off old moods that can weigh you down. When you walk, you give your mind a well-deserved vacation. After a walk, you will be able to work more effectively, and have a clearer understanding of your situations. So even if it's not taking a walk, taking time to clear your energy, to clear your mind, you know, giving yourself a break. Whatever that means for you. Let me put my house shoes on. My feet are getting cold. Yes, it is going to be a beautiful day today, but we're not quite there yet. I mean, it's still pretty chilly outside. But they said it's supposed to, I'm pretty sure they said it's supposed to get up to 70 today, which is crazy for February, but, you know, I'll take it when I can get it. All right. All right, now we'll pull from Believe in Your Own Magic. Last time we got Princess. You can be your own knight. Being your own knight in shining armor, saving yourself, loving yourself. We got Raindrops, number 39 on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. That card speaks of friendships, relationships, commitments. We got 4 days until Valentine's Day. What about that? This will be the first year I've celebrated Valentine's Day in many, 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 many years. And I say that broadly. You know, I know I will not be celebrating with one specific person, but I'll be celebrating with my work family. It was 24:24 on the timer when I looked. Love is free. Love doesn't cost a thing. I think there's a song that has that title, actually. But, you know, it doesn't cost any... Whoa. Flower, Storm, and Escapist. That's way too many. We're not going to keep all those, but... Being kind doesn't cost anything. You can show somebody love and care without, you know, physical gifts. But at the same time, gift giving is one type of love language. That's still way too many. Storm, Stars, Mirror, Universe, Tree, and Phoenix. We just want one. Not only showing that love to other people, but don't forget to show some love to yourself as well. It did talk about self-love already this morning, or this rising. There it is. Tower. Unplug and relax. Number 3. Hold on. We got Storm on the bottom of the deck, 44. We're seeing a lot of 4s today. And look at that, raindrops sitting right there on the top of the deck. So maybe that's the changes that need to be embraced, letting go of people that no longer serve you. Maybe people that you showed love to that did not reciprocate that love. It can require a lot of bravery and a lot of strength to be able to walk away from people that you care about because they're not reciprocating that energy. All right, what came out was number 3, Tower. Relax, unplug, and relax. I don't know if I showed you the picture or not. It's time you took a step back. Hold on. And spent some quality time with your one true best friend, yourself. Look up some yoga videos on YouTube. Try out guided meditation. Read a book from a genre you might not usually read. Take a morning stroll around your neighborhood and discover places you've never been before. When you take the time needed to recharge, you're paying the greatest respect to yourself. And yesterday I actually had a video pop up on my feed that talked about I totally just got distracted by the song on the radio. This is Michael Jackson. There's something strange. No, that's not Michael Jackson, is it? Oh, never mind. That wasn't even that song. Okay, sorry, squirrel. I got distracted. The video that I was talking about, it talked about self-love and learning different ways to love yourself can be part of the healing journey. A lot of us, we know how to share love with other people, but we don't do that for ourselves. Anyways, it talked about how important that was, and going back to the positive affirmations with the Namaste deck. Self-love affirmations. A lot of self-love energy out here today. All right, Storm, number 44. Every hurricane comes to an end. Just when you thought things were taking a turn for the better, in came a hurricane of hurt. Now you find yourself utterly exhausted from trying to survive it all. Rest assured, the clouds are finally starting to part, making room for much needed sun. Like the clouds, you should also let go of past or present pain in order to make room for something better. What were we just talking about? Letting go of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Appreciating the lessons that they taught. Appreciating the love that they brought. Whether that was love from other people or teaching you how to love yourself better. To make room for new ones. People that actually reciprocate. People, your soul tribe. 39, raindrops. Take a chance on them. If anyone has a reason to keep their guard up, it's you. People have been known to mistreat you. And like any rational person, you finally got tired of it. Went back inside, locked the door. But you weren't supposed to stay out of the rain forever. No matter how terrifying the prospect may seem, you need to put yourself out there again. Whoever it is that you're thinking of, they can be trusted to walk with you through the storm. Tower, storm, and raindrops. Tower, we're talking about changes that are happening, bracing. We already got mind energy and meant for success. You know, bracing for change, knowing that change is inevitable. 31:34 on the timer. Change is inevitable. We don't have control over everything. All we can do is embrace the change, go with the flow, be brave, and embrace the new opportunities that it will bring. Every hurricane comes to an end. We have moments, it's making me think of the bitter and sweet analogy, you know, and really the contentment from the Wild Offering Oracle. Being content and grateful for what you have, for what you've learned, for what you've been through, and for the opportunity to continue to heal and grow. It was 32:22 on the timer when I looked. We're all healing in our own time. It's making me think of that Abel Hart song again. If you guys have not heard that song, please go listen to it. I've got his playlist on repeat, but that is his newest release. And I'll tell you what, it hits. All right. Angels of Abundance. Last time we got let go of guilt, successful funding, and organized for success. Organizing your thoughts, organizing your life, organizing your goals, making a plan, letting go of whatever self-guilt that you may have. That goes back to that negative self-talk. When you catch yourself slipping into that frame of mind, be like a fish and swim away from that. Just keep swimming. Who is that? Dory from Nemo. Just keep swimming. I think there's actually a channel on YouTube that has that as their title as well. 33:44 on the timer. All right, Angels of Abundance. Partnership. Release partnerships that no longer serve you with love and grace, and prepare yourself to embrace new partnerships as they come in. Allow beautiful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career. Both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. We've got raise or promotion on the bottom of the deck. Congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. We talked about that earlier, listening to your intuition, listening to your gut, listening to the divine, seeing the signs and synchronicities that they send to you. And we got pay yourself first on the top of the deck. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and in your future. Very much aligning with the self love energy that's been very strong out here today. We also have bountiful nature that was backing the raise or promotion on the bottom of the deck. So going back to the changes, all just because changes are coming doesn't mean they're bad changes. You know, like it talks about in the storm card, we all go through different storms in our life. And sometimes it seems like those storms are just back to back to back to back. It's like you barely have enough time to come up and breathe before the next one comes. And for a lot of us that experience it that way, you go through so many storms that it feels like the storm's never going to end. Like, when's the sun going to come out? When are we going to see that rainbow? When are we going to see the light at the end of the tunnel? Grief is like the ocean. It comes in waves, ebbing and flowing. Sometimes the water is calm and sometimes it's overwhelming. All we can do is learn to swim. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. And I don't intend to imply that that is easy, because it's not. That's why so many people give up. They get tired because they're fighting against the current instead of going with it. All right, let's get affirmation from the Affirmators deck. Last time we saw courage, patience, and friendliness. We've got playfulness on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Learning from our mistakes. You know, going with the flow doesn't mean not having boundaries. It doesn't mean that, you no longer take thought of where your life is going. Going with the flow just means, not fighting against the natural order of things. Accepting the fact that we can't control everything. I am at peace with myself and those around me, and I do not harbor unrealistic expectations of myself or others. I release the need to control. Sometimes those spontaneous moments, those unexpected changes can bring some of the best experiences in life. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord. Look at that. Playfulness came right back out. This is too many, but playfulness, ups and downs, ultimate potential, options, and story of my life. Take from that what you will. We just want one, though. Get centered, worthiness, and positive thinking. Get centered, lining up with that getting grounded energy that's already come out a couple times. Positive thinking. Reject the negative self-talk. Try to break that pattern. Try to break that habit. Look at that. It came out again. All right. Playfulness. I am a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. So making tasks that maybe seem daunting or overwhelming, try to add an element of fun. but also going through life with that playful, childlike energy, anxiously awaiting those changes, you know, being excited about what's to come instead of worrying about what's coming next. Once that negative self thought and that negative pattern of thinking starts, it really is it goes into a snowball effect where if you don't make an active effort to stop it, it's just going to keep growing and growing until, you're in a full blown breakdown. All right, let's pull from the animal or the forest spirit oracle. Last time we saw tiger, wood nymph, and butterfly. We've got bear, untamed spirit on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. I'm always searching for something. By the eyes of the blind, in the middle of the night. Walking in the middle of the night. We did get walk, walk, walk with the Namaste deck. That's what's on the radio. I'm walking in my sleep. Through the desert of truth. Chameleon spirit, many colors. Blend in or stand out as the situation requires to fit the need of the moment. That's making me think about what I said earlier about when you see somebody's true colors, don't try to paint them. Blend in or stand out as the situation requires. Being aware and paying attention to when the energy is right. Knowing when, maybe knowing when to put yourself out there and knowing when to, just hang tight and enjoy the ride. We got dragonfly on the bottom of the deck, perspective. Be flexible and willing to change direction if needed to get a broader view of things. Be flexible. We've talked about that a lot today. Going with the flow, releasing control. And then look at that. Bear on the top of the deck. We saw it on the bottom of the deck as we were getting started. It ended up on the top of the deck. Untamed spirit. Allow yourself to run wild and free as you explore your own fierce but gentle nature. Embracing new opportunities. Embracing spontaneity. Self-love energy as well there. Be true to who you are, authenticity. Be gentle with yourself as you're growing, as you're evolving, as you're healing, as you're learning. Be gentle with yourself and with others. Like a bear, bears can be some badasses, right? I mean, they can tear some stuff up. But they can also just be like cuddly teddy bears, like big old puppy dogs. Embracing both sides of yourself. Embracing and acknowledging both your fierceness and your gentle nature. Listening to your intuition and knowing, wow, Going back to the chameleon, knowing when to show your true colors and when to kind of like, not necessarily hide yourself, but knowing when to put yourself out there and when not to. Listening to your intuition when it comes to that. Embrace the ability and the opportunities to see things, situations, people from multiple different perspectives. I don't know who sings this song that's on the radio. I have died every day waiting for you. Don't be afraid, I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000. Loving and valuing the people that the universe sends into your life. Love them while you have the chance. Love them like there's not going to be a tomorrow. Love them authentically. Love them passionately. Do it because it comes from the heart, not because you feel like it's expected of you. I say it all the time. Just one act of kindness, one expression of genuine love and care for another person can go a long way. Whether you're on the giving or the receiving end of that. If you look at things from that perspective, it really changes life a lot. All right. We'll do nature seasons. Last time we got thunder, anger, and sorrow. We talked about being able to safely and honestly express emotions. Anger and sorrow are very painful and difficult emotions to experience and to express. We've got new moon on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. One more. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be abused by you. Ocean, depth and subconscious is what flew out. New moon, full moon on the bottom of the deck. And new moon on the top of the deck. All right. Ocean. The depth of the ocean calls to your inner intuition. Listen to your inner voice and explore the depths of your subconscious. Uncover hidden emotions and answers through quiet moments, gaining clearer insight into yourself. So, self reflection, illumination and completion. Reflect on your achievements and give thanks for the growth and effort that brought you here. You may experience emotional release. This is a time to celebrate your results and let go of the past. I'm seeing there's a meme online. It's a little video where the guy is referencing Lion King. The scene where he's with the monkey, and the monkey, I can't remember his name right now. Simba's with the monkey, and he hits him in the head with the stick, and he said, ow, that hurt. And he was like, but it's in the past. And he was like, but it still hurt. And he's like, oh, yes, the past can hurt. But you can either learn from it or stay stuck, basically. I can't remember the exact words, but that's what I'm hearing in my head right now. Or seeing in my mind's eye, whatever you want to. Anyways. All right. Potential and transformation. The past, I said all that to say, the past does hurt. It's not easy. That's why not everybody chooses to heal. Not everybody chooses to be brave, to have courage, to heal through the pain, to push through the obstacles and the towers and the defeat, and choose to stand up and try again. Not everybody does that. New moon, potential and transformation. Tap into your deepest potential. It's a time to set intentions that reflect your true self and harness the transformative energy of new beginnings. Today is the perfect time to take the first step. Stay open-minded and embrace new opportunities. Bam! What have we been talking about? I love it when it comes full circle like that. Staying open-minded, seeing things from different perspectives. Blend in or stand out as the situation requires. Embracing the ebb and flow of life. Going all the way back to the very beginning with the grief affirmation. Grief is like the ocean. It comes in waves, ebbing and flowing. Sometimes the water is calm, and sometimes it is overwhelming. All we can do is learn to swim. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Something could be significant about Finding Nemo. I know I have watched that movie way too many times. It was 53:54 on the timer when I looked. A lot of animated movies like that, especially, the ones that were made in the 2000s or whatever, they have not only moral meanings for the children, but they also have moral meanings and lessons for the adults as well. There's a lot of metaphorical meanings in that movie, Finding Nemo. All right, celestial insights. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I'm going to have that stuck in my head all day now. We got telepathy, transformation, trust, and reflection. Telepathy, communication with your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High. Reflection, trust, and transformation. Reflect, trust, transform. Reflect on your thoughts, your feelings, your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High. Listen to your intuition. Reflect on where you've been, where you want to go, where you are now. Looking at things from multiple perspectives. Trust the process, trust divine timing. Trust that the changes that are happening, trust that the things that you're going through is what's creating the transformation. All right, now let's actually read them. That's just what I saw as soon as those came out. Your intuition is connecting you with others. Have you experienced moments of deep understanding with someone? Pay attention to these subtle connections. They could hold the answers you need. I hope you guys are connecting the dots here. Reflection brings deep insight. Have you been avoiding self-reflection? Take time to sit with your thoughts and feelings. Your inner world holds the answers you seek. Trust is essential for moving forward. Are you doubting the path ahead? Have faith in the universe's plan and in yourself. Take the next step with confidence. Be brave. Have courage. Trust your intuition. You are undergoing a profound transformation. Have recent changes made you uncertain? Embrace the shifts. They are guiding you toward personal and spiritual growth. Changes are always happening all around us. That, it's not just a one-stop shop. Change is constantly happening around us in our lives, in the world, in the spirit world. A life without change is no life at all because things are constantly changing. The key is learning how to go with the flow, learning how to work with those changes, learning how to alchemize your own energy to allow you to work with the energy around you. Whatever's happening, being able to bob and weave, through life. That is an acquired skill. Not everybody has that. All right. Intermission. You got Pink on the radio. You got to get up and try and try and try. Wow. If you never try, then you never know. It's one of those things, ask for forgiveness instead of permission. It's one of those, the situations where, what's the worst they can say? No. Sure, your ego, my personal power is free from ego and from any desire to manipulate or exploit situations or people. The foundation of all my thoughts and actions is to trust in myself. Wow. Leave your ego at the door. When you're stepping into new territory, whether it's a new relationship, a new commitment, just a new change in life, whatever that is. And commitment doesn't necessarily mean a relationship. That could be business. That could be a commitment to yourself. That could be a commitment to your family. That could be a commitment to change, to healing, to growth, to knowledge, to committing yourself to sharing what you've learned with others. Fill in the blank. The options are unlimited. All right. Let's do the Unstoppable You Oracle. We took several last time. Fear means you're growing. Your fire is sacred. You are not too much. This is your season. Keep the promise you made to yourself, and you are the magic. Embrace the magic within you. Done is better than perfect on the bottom of the deck. You got to get up and try, just like Pink keeps saying over and over again. You got to get up and try. There's no such thing as failure, only lessons learned. You got to get up and try. If you never try, then you'll walk around with regret for never trying. At least if you try, you know. If you never act, then you never know. The Unstoppable You Oracle. What if it works is what flew out right away. What if? Instead of thinking about the woulda, shoulda, couldas, think about the what ifs. What if it does work? What if I do succeed? What if I do heal? What if I do learn? What if I do grow? What if the change is a good change? What if I plant a seed and it actually grows? Wow, that's deep. What if you plant a seed and it actually grows? That's making me think of my sage plant. Hold on. We're going to have a Jesus moment. Okay, so let's do a little story time. I love plants. I love gardening. I love everything about it. But, let me move these out of the way so I don't get them dirty. I really struggle with growing plants. Like, I really have a hard time. I don't know if it's maybe because I'm not well educated on the science of like the soil. Like, I just kind of wing it and just like put it in dirt and leave it, right? Okay, so this is a sage plant. When I started this from seed. Well, when I started this, I started 11 other ones as well. And they all sprouted. But at some point during the journey, they have all died. And this is the only one I have left. I just repotted it yesterday in my owl pot. It was in a red solo cup, but this is the lone survivor out of a dozen. And I'm really hoping that this one doesn't die. But that being said, sometimes love isn't enough. We got to learn the science of it, right? We got to learn what makes the wheel turn in the background, per se. But anyways, so there's my little story for the day. But just because you don't succeed the first time, don't let that cause you to give up. I get very discouraged when it comes to my plants because I just want them to grow and flourish so much. And then the same thing happened with my yarrow. I started some yarrow from seed, and it was doing really, really, really good. And then all of a sudden, it took a turn, and now I don't even know if it's going to make it or not. I repotted it too. I think I put fertilizer in the soil too soon is what I did. I think it was still too young. But, learning, it's not failure. It's just a learning experience, was the point that I was getting to. I hope that made sense. Okay. Your fire is sacred, is what we're seeing on the bottom of the deck. We saw that. We just put that back in. And then let it be messy. It's okay. It's okay to make a mess as long as you're willing to clean it up. All right. What if it works? Page 72. Don't let fear talk you out of greatness. Courage, trusting the unknown, possibility, overcoming fear, embracing success, and shifting perspective. Message. Fear loves to ask, what if it doesn't work? But have you ever asked, what if it does? The truth is, you're just as likely to succeed as you are to fail. But it's fear that makes you forget that. This card is your nudge to flip the script. Don't let fear drown out the possibility of success. What if it works? What if this moment leads to a breakthrough? The opportunity, the transformation you've been hoping for. What if everything you're afraid of is only a shadow of the greatness that awaits? You can't predict the future, but you can choose to believe in its potential. Guidance. Fear thrives on the unknown, but so does magic. When you step into the uncertainty with a mindset that it will work, you change the energy around you. The more you trust the process, the more you magnetize the outcomes you desire. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And more importantly, what's the best? This card is your reminder to act in faith, not fear. Don't let doubt decide your future for you. Journaling prompts. What am I afraid might happen? And what is the possibility I'm ignoring? When have I succeeded despite my fear? What would I do differently if I truly believed this could work? Mindset practice. Possibility focus. Write down 3 what if it works statements about your current situation. Allow yourself to feel the excitement and possibility in each one. Didn't I say something earlier about getting excited? Let this exercise shift your perspective from fear to hope. Whenever doubt arises today, ask yourself again, what if it works? Affirmation. I choose to believe in my success. The possibilities are endless and I am ready. Action step. Take 1 step today toward what you're scared to pursue. Let it be small but significant. An email, a call, a decision. Trust your actions are creating the path, even if you don't see it all yet. All right, we won't read the whole cards, but we'll at least read the cliff notes of the ones that were on the top and bottom. Let it be messy and your fire is sacred. Let it be messy. Page 135. Core message. Great things rarely begin with perfect plans. Key themes. Embrace imperfection, authentic beginnings, creativity in chaos, surrender, trust the process, and self-compassion. And then your fire is sacred, page 48. Core message. Protect your energy, not your comfort zone. We had comfort zones and it showed itself again in the angel numbers. And we talked about, it takes stepping out of your comfort zone to create change. Key themes: boundaries, purpose, energy management, inner fire, discernment, and sacred protection. Let it be messy. That's really sticking out. Be spontaneous. Go 1:11:57 on the timer when I looked. That old saying, dance in the rain. Don't be afraid to get wet, just dance in the rain. Embracing and really cherishing and valuing those blissful moments. Don't let anybody put your fire out. Don't let somebody dim your fire. Go on now. Get out of my room. Now we will pull from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Last time we got gratitude, vanity, and growth. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you, don't you? I don't know where that came from. That's what I thought of when I saw that vanity card. Remembering that not everything is about you. Going back to the perspective energy with the dragonfly, remembering that not everything's about you. You are just as much a role in other people's lives as you are in your own. Looking at the bigger picture, going back to the, sharing love and sharing knowledge and just sharing your energy with people. Sometimes you are the blessing to other people. Just like other people can be a blessing in your life, you are that in other people's lives, whether you realize it or not. Realizing the importance of the energy that you carry, how much it's needed in the world. When you embrace your true, authentic self, you're not playing a role. You're not trying to fill a position. You're not trying to manipulate a situation to get a certain outcome. When you just go with the flow, embrace your authenticity, work on you, share what you have to share with others to create that change, that transformation that we all so desperately need in one way, shape, or form. Whether that's a physical transformation, a materialistic transformation, a spiritual, an emotional transformation. Change comes in all shapes and sizes. And a lot of times, especially when we're talking about self, a lot of the changes that happen within us, the outside world does not see. I am amazing. I am strong. I am healthy. I bake a great cake and I made someone smile today. Appreciate the power that you hold with the ability to share love and express love to the people around you. And of course, to yourself. That is a skill that not everybody has. You know, to some of us, that comes naturally. But to others, that's something that has to be learned. It has to be, it has to grow within us. It's not something that always comes naturally. All right, we got enlightenment, renewal, and bittersweet. Wow. Was it today that I said something about the bittersweet, or was that yesterday? Enlightenment, renewal, and bittersweet. Notice how in these two cards, the sun is shining. In this card, it's not necessarily gray or black. It's kind of blue and purple. The light at the end of the tunnel, the rainbow after the storm. When you experience the bitter, you are able to better appreciate the sweet. Vanilla Sky, that's a movie with Tom Cruise. That's a quote. They talk about that in that movie. All right. Arms Wide Open by Creed is on the radio. Renewal. You are being offered a chance to awaken to a new life. You may need to deepen your roots and anchor yourself by taking stock of what you would like to create. This is a time to start again and grow a strong foundation. Once again, talking about change, self-reflection, being creative, growth. All right, and then we got enlightenment. The opportunity to make an enlightened decision is inherent. A journey of true destiny is the vibrational energy here. Regal gold and earthly brown mix to create something spectacular. Your experience will guide others. So when you receive the enlightenment, you're able to share that enlightenment with others. Once again, referencing how the choices we make, the life we live, it affects others. Finding your inner harmonies so that you can help others find theirs. All right, and then we got bittersweet. Blue November. There is an inner strength here, helping you rise above circumstances and do the right thing. It is time to set aside your personal agenda for the good of the group. Well, the person you are becoming is capable of more than you imagined. Notice how it mentioned the group, society, the world, the people that you come in contact with on a day-to-day basis. Your soul tribe. We talked about that earlier. When you embrace your true, authentic self, you listen to your intuition, you embrace your inner harmony, you are able to show other people how to do that, or at least help them along their journey, right? All right, let's get the Archangel of Fire Oracle. Whoa, sorry. Last time we got Jehuddiel, Camiel, and Acatriel. I don't think I say that right, but either way. We got number 6, Uriel, on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Listen to the deeper meaning. Find the hidden meaning in your day-to-day life experiences. I think that came up a few videos ago. Go deeper. Be brave. Confirmation. My stomach just growled. I do not allow my mind to create doubt or to override my strong gut feelings. I accept and express my feelings while accepting the feelings of others. Oh, I have no idea how to say that. Number 12, SOQED space HOZI. I have no clue. He's walking a tightrope, trying to find balance. Number 12. Look at that. That's the main message, is balance. Balance between work and play, balance between bitter and sweet, balance between light and dark. Human beings have an innate need to interact with others. I will help bring balance to your love life and relationships, and above all, have a good relationship with yourself. Known as the keeper of divine balances, this angel is associated with intimate partnerships and is shown here as a half man, half woman Russian performer. Oh, I didn't realize that part. So the balance between feminine and masculine. They help us maintain our individuality while acknowledging the interconnectedness of all things, keeping a flow of loving energy where each person positively affects and supports the energy of the other. Partnerships, soul tribe. They can help you to recognize and heal imbalanced partnerships where you may feel you are being drained. While we all need to lean on loved ones from time to time, it's unhealthy for a relationship to be built entirely on one person's needs and another's attempt to fulfill those needs. Going back to the affirmation that I read when I was shuffling this deck. What? My personal power is free from ego and free from any desire to manipulate or exploit situations or people. A true soulmate relationship is uplifting, supportive, fair, and loving. If conflict or dysfunction occurs, it should lead to growth and understanding, not create further conflict and misunderstanding. This angel holds the balance between feelings and truth and promotes trust and cooperation. Obviously, the most intimate partnership we can have is our relationship with ourself. This angel helps to keep all parts of our life in balance, from our emotions and our health right through the overseeing of the seasons and how they affect us. We got health from the Wild Offering Oracle. He or she also balances the forces of light and dark. They can work on a microscopic level or a massive scale, governing the amazing harmonization of our cells and organs in a finely tuned symphony of cause and effect. With their assistance, you can increase the flow of creativity in your life. Or, on the other hand, if you need to be more practical, grounded, and logical in your approach to things, you can call on this angel to gift you with more time and space and balance the relationship between left and right hemispheres of your brain, the masculine and the feminine. They even aid our spiritual journey by bringing balance and understanding to our personal relationship with God, allowing us to take responsibility for our own actions and empower ourselves as divine beings who are one with God. As the balancer of all the spiritual forces within the great matrix of existence, this angel reminds us of our infinite nature and says we need to remember that we are a microcosm within a microcosm. The whole universe is reflected in our being, and so everything in our lives is constantly moving and shifting towards perfect balance. What did I say? Things are constantly changing and growing and evolving. It is only our perception that that prevents it from being so. This is why our intimate soulmate relationships can feel so incredible. Through them, we are able to see the truth of our own perfection reflected back at us in the other. Perspective, perception. Wow, so many confirmations right there. Day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Okay, that's what's on the radio. All right, now we're going to pull from the Mary Magdalene, and I think we're going to call it after that. We got 128.06 on the timer when I looked. Actually, let's pull from the herbal astrology before we do that. Last time we got 44 Kava Kava community. We got Motherwort 13 strength on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Love hard. Love yourself as hard as you can. You know, work hard on self-love. Realize how important that is so that you can confidently share your love with others. All right, Herbal Astrology Oracle. Valerian. Look at that. 44. Fours again. Acceptance. Accepting things as they are. Accepting yourself. Accepting others. Accepting the love that the universe is sending to you. Accepting others as they are, not how you want them to be. accepting yourself for who you are, not what others want you to be. We got 8 trust on the bottom of the deck and 41 dream on the top of the deck. Valerian is a great sleep aid. That's pretty much all I know about valerian. All right, number 44. There's a rat in this picture. The year of the rat. The rat is one of the Chinese zodiac. And if you look closely at this picture, it's the image of a person. And down here, it like these are mountains. And at first, this looks like maybe lightning strikes, but it's actually roots. Finding your roots. Finding the root of a problem. Getting grounded. Strong foundation. When you have strong roots, you have a strong foundation. All right. Order, loosening, acceptance, embracing, imperfection, persistence, and flow. There's that word again. We have seen flow, going with the flow, ebbing and flowing with the waves of life. Ancient physicians referred to this plant as phew, like phew, because it stinks, due to the pungency of its smell. Referenced in texts as smelly old socks, while other names of the plant such as all heel and cut finger are common. The Latin origin of valerian's name comes from valere, meaning to be strong and healthy. In medieval Sweden, valerian was sometimes placed in the wedding clothes of the groom to ward off the envy of elves and to protect the marriage. To ward off the envy of hussies, maybe. It was said to be used by witches to protect and unbind those who were the target of evil spells. The Nordic goddess Hertha put valerian root on her riding crop, causing the stag she rode to increase in power and speed. In combination with the bridle of hops, valerian is suspected to have helped facilitate the journey between realms, the liminal space often inhibited by witches or between waking and sleeping life. Often inhabited, not inhibited. The liminal space often inhabited by witches or between waking and sleeping life. Both the Greeks and Celts used valerian to ward off evil, traditionally hanging it in bunches around windows to repel spirits and protect the home from lightning, hence the imagery. They also used it to consecrate ritual tools, promote peace, provide purification, break hexes, and enhance stability and happiness. A growing number of clinical trials now show how various types of valerian improve sleep quality and alleviate insomnia, exhaustion, fatigue, and pain. Valerian resembles Neptune's archetype, as the herb powerfully greatly relaxes the body and mind to experience deep states of rest, sleep, and even access to other worlds. Neptune is the planet of dreams, other realms, the subconscious mind, the psychic mind, imagination, and fundamental connection to spirituality. Valerian assists us in abandoning the story that keeps us bound to one reality. allowing us to access beyond our physical body into a greater mystical reality. Guidance. Valerian supports us by widening our trigger points and helping us to zoom out of a situation that might be overloading you with anxiety or stress. Remember, go easy on yourself and don't push yourself too hard to meet goals. Valerian remedies the internal parts of ourselves that can embody mouse energy, hence the rat in the picture. When we're overly analytical and judgmental in a high trigger mode, the message here is to take measure. Although your foundation can be established with great order, there is a certain amount of flow needed in order to enjoy creativity and growth. Don't exhaust yourselves in the details. Embrace your imperfections. Wow. That was deep. Embracing all parts of you and the world around you. All right, now we'll pull from Mary Magdalene and we'll be done. Last time we got the red thread. Good recognizes good. We've got the rose. I trust divine timing. Everything comes from within on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. I hope everybody has a positive, peaceful, and productive day today. I hope you're able to find balance. I hope you're able to embrace the unexpected. Be brave and go with the flow. Find your inner harmony. Be content with what you have. Trust the process. Christ. Love knows only mercy. Card number 32. We've got the cave of eggs. We exist in and within each other on the bottom of the deck. And the skull on the top of the deck. Love has already won. All right, page 32. Love knows only mercy. It's crucial for us to remember that Christ was crucified by the Roman Empire. He wanted to turn the unjust power structures of the empire on their head, making the first last and the last first. Christ wanted to free us from the misunderstanding that any one of us had the right to put ourselves above or below another. Christ wanted us free from the illusion that external forms of power, like wealth and authority, could ever come close to the ultimate power of love that exists within us. It's crucial for us to remember that Christ wasn't Christian. Christianity came hundreds of years after Christ. Christ himself embodied a spiritual practice called kenosis, which is Greek for self-emptying love. When we practice loving someone, even a stranger, a perceived enemy, by emptying out all our egoic ideas about them, we free ourselves and them. We put mercy into practice. Mercy is what love looks like in action. In Mary's gospel, Peter asks Christ, "What is the sin of the world?" And Christ replies, "There is no such thing as sin," referencing Mary chapter 3, verse 3. Christ here is saying that we are not innately sinful. Sin does not exist as an ultimate truth. Sin, according to the Gospel of Mary, is when we mistake the ego for our true self. When we are unable to sense the presence of the soul in the midst of one of the powers of the ego, we then act from that forgetful state. Christ in Mary's gospel wants us to remember that being human means being an ego with all that humanity demands, and that being human also means being a soul. Mary's gospel relates that Christ was the anthropos, which means true human being. And this is what he revealed to her we are meant to become also. The true human being has united the ego to the true self, the soul. Even in the midst of the worst of what can unfold in our lives, we have capacity to return to the limitless love we are also. How can we do this? We have mercy on ourselves. We have mercy on each other. We let love reach where it has never been before. The soul voice meditation. What mercy can I have for myself or someone else in this moment? Being able to see things from a higher perspective. Being able to see things from somebody else's perspective. Being understanding, being caring, being kind, leading with love instead of judgment. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.